Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Still showing up. That's better. Welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're all doing well. Currently February 14th at 3:33 p.m. local time. And we're back with another Map Lab stream mapping for Toon 3 Encore. Toon 3 has already concluded its deadline, so we're past the submission date for the challenge, but I'm entering as a bonus map, so I have until tomorrow at 8 p.m. my time to complete the map. So I have this countdown clock to show us how much time we have left. We have 1 day and 6 hours, but effectively, because I have plans tonight and then plans tomorrow as well, effectively we only have maybe 3 hours to finish the map. So we're down to the wire. I can technically fix things or change last minute things tomorrow, but I won't have much time to do so. So we only basically have this stream to wrap up the map. I should say hello to everyone. Hi, Matt. Hi, how should I say your name? I see DX Treaty? DX Treaty? I'm not sure if I said that correctly. Hello, welcome in. Hi, Bogey. Hi, Vizzies. Hi, Boom Donuts. Thanks for showing up, everyone. The 3-hour due date, exactly. What are you going to be doing specifically?
Greetings!
Oh, greetings. Who was that? That's Meneth. Hi, Meneth. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. So, this challenge is Toon 3 Encore. The mapping challenge where we have to pick a song and then make a level for Half-Life 2 based on the song. So I chose the song Let It Happen by Tame Impala, and I was inspired by the themes of the song, the structure of the song, and also the music video. And so I made a map set in an airport similar to the music video for the song. There's also a lyric in the song where it says, "If my takeoff fails," was kind of alluding to a flight as like a metaphor for life in general, I guess. So, and this is a map about a takeoff failing, so I guess it kind of fits the song. I don't know, guys. Did I do the theme right? I really didn't like this theme very much, but I did my best. Dexterity. How did I not read that as dexterity? That's actually really good. Hi, Dexterity. Welcome in. You play as the guy in the song. In the music video, the character is like a sort of a businessman in his like middle-aged looking guy, like 50s maybe. And so yes, you play as the guy from the music video basically. I said in the intro text crawl that your character is a music producer, but I don't really have a backstory or a name for the character. So where we left off, we had everything pretty much structurally down. The map was fully playable. You can play it start to end. There were dynamic enemy spawns, dynamic items. That's going to be kind of the main feature of the map. There's this holdout section at the end. But we still have some fixing and improving to do. It's very rough around the edges. But let me consult my Trello board that I put together for this challenge. The thing that we were doing last was adding some assets to the credits. Blix passed me an asset for what they call C-arms, or like customizable arms for the Counter-Strike source guns. I should credit for that, but it actually wasn't by Blix. It was by someone called Inaki. So I will credit Counter-Strike First New Model C-arms. That's kind of a mouthful. Maybe I'll just say CSS New Model C-arms by Inaki. Now, there are also a few more assets that were donated by the community. There was a skin for the zombies that was by Cheese Dreamer that I want to add in. That's on my Trello board. There's also a title card that was done by 19T that I really want to do. In fact, I'll even preemptively credit him because I know we're going to put that in today. Title card by 19T. So I got a question for you guys. Um, before I ask, Bogey says, honestly, this is the most creative thing somebody has made for tunes so far from what I've seen. Oh, thank you. I don't know. I saw some work in progress screenshots on the Map Labs Discord that looked insane. So I think we'll see a few standout entries in this one. Boom Donut says, not gonna lie, I saw a comment on the music video that said the guy in the vid looks like a Sebastian, and that's the name that comes to mind. Yeah, that's canon now. We're just gonna say the main character is Sebastian. I don't know where to even write that. There's not really a point in the map where learn your name. I'm just gonna call this Sebastian. I have these prop dynamics with collisions turned off and visibility turned off at the beginning of the map just to pre-cache these assets, because I'm not sure if this no, they'll be pre-cached by the protagonist system. It's not the pre-cache I'm worried about. There's a script I'm gonna run that's gonna remove assets out of my workspace, and I'm worried that that script is gonna delete assets that I'm actually using if they don't show up in the map. That's why I just have those loading there. I'll put that on info player start too. Player is named Sebastian. I don't know if that'll ever come up again, but I want to write that down somewhere. What was I just talking about a second ago? Right. So we have a title card made by 19T. Oh, I was going to ask you guys. I have a question. Should this map be called Departure in 7 Hours, or should it be called the 7-Hour Layover? Those are the two names I have. 19T really liked Departure in 7 Hours because it sounds more ominous, and I do agree with them about that, but I felt like maybe since this is actually at the end of the 7 hours, that didn't make a lot of sense. John Producer, yeah. John Producer is now Sebastian Producer. I'm gonna make a poll. Do you guys have any other suggestions for names besides those two? So far I have Departure in 7 Hours or 7-Hour Layover. But if you guys have any other suggestions for names, I'd take them. Danskart says, "Who is he?" He's Sebastian. This is Sebastian Producer. He's a producer at a music company. Terminal 7 is actually pretty good. I think 19T had an idea like that too, or maybe it was one of you guys that had an idea. Something related to the song. I could say failed takeoff or something like that, but that doesn't sound quite right. Actually, Tame Impala, Let It Happen, lyrics. Flight delayed, delayed by 7 hours. Delayed by 7 hours. I don't want to call the map Let It Happen because the name just, I feel like if you don't know the song, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the map. So all of these lyrics, by the way, are mumbled. I don't know if these are correct or not. Like, they're not coherent in the song. Because, yeah, I cannot vanish, you will not scare me. But it's like, he doesn't really say that. It's like chopped up vocals. Who is he? Oh, who is he? Yeah, I saw that. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I love that picture. I wanted to quickly tell you I'm trying to learn source stuff so I can make a game called Entropy Zero Outbreak. Oh, that sounds interesting. Right now, the game isn't visible to the public. What do you mean? Who is he? Yeah, I don't really have anything from the lyrics to use. You guys have any last minute Terminal 7 was good, or it was like there was another idea that was something like Terminal 17 or Gate 17 or something like that. Um Need 5 photos in order to be allowed to be public? Yeah, it sounds like I can believe that. That sounds like a rule that they would have. Um Made by 7 hour Terminal 7. Hi Bob. Bob, do you have any ideas for the name for this map? The map about an airport. And it has to do something to do with the 7 hour war. No, no, it's not. It's not that. It's not that map. We're not calling it that. Flight 7 delayed. I actually kind of like that. Actually, I just realized 19T already made the title card, so that we really only have the 2 options. What was I thinking? What? We only have the 2 options because the title cards are already made. I'm dumb. Okay, I'm gonna start the poll though.
Greetings!
Greetings! Hi, Spike Shark Gaming. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm just a little stressed out. A lot going on. Time is running out. Insert that picture of the rabbit with the clock. The Alice in Wonderland thing. So it's going to be one of these 2 title cards. They just hit the second VMF. That's too soon, Redonkulous. You can't say that. But yeah, welcome in. It's good to see you. Flight canceled. That's good. It's really got to be one of the first 2 names because we have these 2 title cards made. I mean, I can bug 19T to make another one, but that's kind of annoying. I don't want to keep asking for things. The title cards go hard. They do. They do. I'm gonna assume that the title is 7-hour layover, and I'll see what the poll comes up with when you guys are done with the poll. Yeah, we added credits, naming the map. We're working on it. Oh, there was all this work I was supposed to do off screen to split the stems into smaller stems for the dynamic music. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do that because that's like critical priority. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but that has to be on stream. That's going to be really annoying for you guys to watch on stream. I'm sorry. I was supposed to do that off stream. One bug that we have is that the soldiers keep using like an idle animation when they're holding the M4, and I don't know why that is. Because I believe the model that I used was based on the combined soldier animation, so you would expect they would use the same animations. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's going wrong. I might have to look into that. That one's going to take a while, though. Captions, this will be kind of annoying, but I'll do it. The making sure that the player notices the plane destruction is something I really want to work on. And there's title card and the zombie skin. Let's start with these things. Terminal 711. We call it Terminal 7 because people are going to think about the Terminal 7 mod from Vinesauce. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's a name from something, then I might have to disqualify that one. By the way, guys, I should have... Oh, okay. Wait. This. What? Okay. That's something. I might not abide by the results of the poll. I should have warned you that before I opened the poll. The poll is really for me to gauge people's reactions. It's not for it's not authoritative. This is as a compliment, but when I say you look like Barney's episode 1ification of Matt 71490. Wait, what do you mean? Barney's episode 1ification? Oh, so like how in episode 1 Barney got covered in like dirt and ash and he looked like he's been like awake for like 2 weeks straight. I look like that, but for Matt 71490. Thanks. Thanks, Redonkulous. That's funny. Where do the title cards appear? No, it's not diegetic. It's going to be after the intro text crawl. Battle scarred Barney. Barney had a beard in episode 1. Yeah, he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow. Kirby told me that I should cosplay Barney, and I really like that idea. I've been like cosplaying Gordon, and I wanted to do like a full hazard suit Gordon cosplay at some point, but I realized like he's right. Like I look more like Barney than I do like Gordon. Maybe it's also because I'm older than Gordon now, which is horrifying to me. It doesn't feel right. Up for a Terminal 7 mod. If Terminal 7 is a reference to something, then I'm not going to call it that. So that could disqualify that name. It seems like right now we've got 7 Hour Layover is winning. I still remember when I was learning how to do subtitles in Easy 2 and you were there to help me. Aw, I'm glad. Subtitles can be kind of annoying to work with, but they're important. We're losing time. I know. Let's grab some subtitles, because I think that is important. I think that these subtitles already exist in Easy 2. I'm going to look that up to be sure. If I open up Easy 2's captions, will I see the titles that I need? I just kind of blurted that name out. It's the first thing I thought of. Okay, so it wasn't a reference. That's okay then. 7 Hour Layover goes much harder. I feel like calling it 7 Hour Layover is goofy. It's a goofy name. Like 19T was suggesting Departure because it sounds more serious. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that it is more serious. Where are the Counter-Strike lines? Like, if I look up like this line. I wanted. Okay, so the captions are not here. There might not be any captions for it. Let me check if they're in the workshop add-on that I pulled this from. This is actually from a workshop add-on I made for Easy 2. Let me show that. It's only a week and he got a beard? Yeah. Well, it's really only 2 days, because Barney looked normal in Half-Life 2, and then, like, a few days later... Yeah, so this is where I got the soldiers from, here. You see if I can find any captions for them. There's no captions, guys. We're so cooked. Stress makes you look older? Well, I'm stressed today, thanks to this map labs. Counter-Strike have subtitles? I don't think it does. We're gonna test that out. I don't think Counter-Strike has captions. For a closed caption file. No, I don't think there is a closed caption file. I think we're cooked. I don't think I have time to actually write my own captions for each of these lines. Yeah, I'm gonna put that down to a lower priority because I do want to do that, but we're running out of time. Running out of time so fast. Yeah, okay, deprioritizing that. 'Cause at the end of the day, does it matter if the soldiers have captions? I don't know. Say medium. Toss that back. Um, I'm gonna do something kind of. This is kind of a band-aid, kind of a like an obtuse solution, but I'm gonna use like a highlight and a instructor hint to direct the player's attention at the aircraft right before it's destroyed. I know that's really a cop out, but I think this is kind of a desperate like last minute kind of thing. Usually, I like it when instructor hints are used like diegetically, like in Entropy Zero Two. Since you're playing as a Combine Elite, all of the instructor hints are things that the Combine are actually telling Bad Cop in the story. But here, it's more of just like the game is hand waving away, giving you information, which I don't really like. But you know, what do you do? So maybe I'll highlight the gunship in red. Is it a crash then kaboom or just kaboom? It's just kaboom because there's going to be basically an enemy aircraft spawns in over here and it flies over the airliner and then it's going to shoot laser downwards and blow it up. Um I was planning on doing like dead air where like a plane like crashes into the ground, but I couldn't get the dead air animations for the plane, using physics to explode and everything to work in Half-Life 2 or slash map base, the map labs template. That would have been sick. Yeah, it looks so cool in Left 4 Dead. I didn't really think about how like detailed the physics simulation is. Um, Left 4 Dead until I started looking at this. So here's a funny thing. First of all, the plane is using an asset from Easy 2, so it has the aperture logo on it. That's kind of silly. I couldn't get the one from Dead Air to work, so we're using this one. I should retexture it. I don't know if I'll have time. Maybe I'll make that a card. Asset retexture plane to match. And then the thing about that is that when the plane is destroyed, it changes color, which is kind of goofy. Could use some audio to make the player look out the window, maybe engine noise. Yeah, that would be good, actually. If the gunship made like a loud sound. I'm also going to have other characters in the scene respond to it. Hopefully that will be good enough. I do. Sorry, sometimes using instances in Hammer++ can be kind of wonky. I like to split things into instances to make it easier for me to manage different parts, but sometimes I overdo it on the instances. Should windows shatter when the airline explodes? That's a really good idea. I could use like physics explosions to try to knock things like inwards when the explosion happens. I might want to let me make a card for that. I don't want to do that just yet, but I will. Good idea. I should, am I doing? I'm losing time. Sometimes it's very difficult to do this on stream, like knowing people are watching me and I'm just like fumbling around in the editor. You can see how clumsy and uncoordinated I am. Shatter windows, big shake, bright flash from the explosion. Yeah, the flash I do have a fade for, but I don't know if it looks very good. Kill a couple survivors at the same time. Yeah, if they're standing close enough to the windows, I think. I don't want to just ragdoll them arbitrarily, because I think that could backfire. Also, hi, Beefbacon. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Where did my music go? Get some music. Let's get some tunes. What if we listen to the Raising the Bar Redux soundtrack? Oh, this is cool. This is the Raising the Bar Redux Division 3 soundtrack. Oh, CW3D did some of these tracks too. Actually, this is Volume 3 of the soundtrack. It's not Division 3. I misspoke. My bad. What if the instructor hint said something like, "What is that?" That's actually not a bad idea. Make it like something that would pique your curiosity. I wanted to use the instructor hint to say like aircraft in danger or something. For the flash, use a lighter or projected texture. That's a really that's such a sorry, that threw in the wrong direction. Try that again. There we go. Ow. I really like the projected texture idea. I'm going to do that. So I think when this actually gets destroyed, I need to make sure to hide those glows. Sure hint. Did it just say look outside? Or maybe like warning or something generic? Danger. Maybe I'll have it show up on the gunship, actually. I need to learn how to make that kind of music? Yeah, this is, that. That was called Despair Protocol from the Raising the Bar Redux soundtrack. It doesn't say who it's by. Raising the Bar Redux Despair Protocol. Yeah, it doesn't say which of the composers made that. I don't think it was CW, but maybe it was. Let's see, it's either Era, CW, Sam Warren, or Trevor Mackenzie Baker. I don't know any of them. I mean, I know CW, obviously. I don't know the others. want to make sure this hint only shows up for a few seconds, so it'll time out after 5 seconds. What should this sound? This should be like a warning sound, like or instructor sounds. It doesn't sound like CW's music. I was thinking the same thing. That might be good. Alright, that's kind of loud. The plane's supposed to be an escape, or how you get there. This is supposed to be an escape, but the whole gimmick of the map is that at the end, it actually blows up and you can't escape. That in the wrong spot. Yeah, so the plane blows up, and instead the Combine, basically humanity is going to surrender to the Combine, and so they'll stop attacking you, but you'll be trapped in the airport with the other survivors. Probably have the instructor say nearly there. Yeah, I was thinking about saying like defend the plane or something, but I don't want players to think that they're failing is the only problem. So I think that's why I want to keep it vague and point it at the gunship so that players don't think that they failed or something like that. Left 4 Dead 2, yeah, I'm using a lot of assets from Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2. You never escape nightmare. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This should probably just all be one relay. I'm making some spaghetti code there. Honestly. Oh, let me just go ahead and delete this relay. I have a tendency to overuse relays because I like using them to group outputs together. Can I link a song I made? Sure. Is it okay to show it on stream? Maybe better to have the gunship play a roar sound rather than a HUD hint type thing. Maybe have NPCs screaming about it. Yeah, I had that too. Is there any appropriate voice lines? Maybe, okay, I have NPCs screaming after it happens. Maybe before is better. I wonder if I can have like a really loud gunship roar. Maybe even have the gunship roar play from like, not from the gunship, but from above where the player is, so it's easier to hear. Play from like right here, really loudly. Does the gunship do anything besides blow up the plane? It will shoot at NPCs afterwards, but blowing up the plane is the only important thing. You could have it shoot through the windows first. That's a really good idea. Let me actually do that. I'll add some bullseyes. Hopefully this is good. Chill song with chill beats. Yeah, if you want to post it in my Discord server, then I should be able to find it. Doing just now? Oh yeah. Like maybe I'll defer these by like a second, by like half a second. Here in the chat, I don't. Did it not show up in the chat? It might have been blocked because I know like Twitch blocks URLs. Hi, Queso. Welcome. Is it okay? Is Queso okay? It's KS KSO EOW. How is that supposed to be said? Do you ever chat? Do you ever have this thing where you read someone's name? Either it's on a Discord server or a forum or like a chat or something. Like you read someone's name and you come up with a way of saying that in your head, and it's only like maybe months or years go by before you have to actually say it out loud, and then you realize it's like, wait, has the way I've been saying this in my head been completely wrong this whole time? Post it to YouTube, not Twitch. Yeah, I don't see it in the YouTube chat. That's okay. I recognize that sample from the Yui calls you queso. I mean, if Yui calls you queso, then I'm pretty sure you're queso. What are we gonna? What can we do about that? You know? Maybe I can add some bullseyes in here for the gunship to shoot at. At her short, she called me queso instead of my beautiful Kate queso. Those are the same, right? Did I have the bullseye in front of the window or like behind the window? Like actually in front of the window is probably okay because I want it to be like very loose. I don't want it to hit anything. I just want it to shoot in this general direction. The bullseye. Solid. Fine. And I'll add a few more. I also really like Beef Bacon's projected texture idea for the flash of the explosion. Like, that's so cool. I'm going to try that for sure. So it's just going to fire kind of randomly at these bullseyes. I'll set the relationship at a low priority, so if it sees an actual target to shoot at, it'll shoot at the actual targets. This Arbite Airport 2? No, this is set during the 7-hour war. What does a bullseye do? It's something that NPCs can shoot at that isn't another character. So in this case, I'm setting up these bullseyes so that the gunship will want to shoot at the air in front of the windows. In fact, maybe I'll even use last name. Although if I set the disposition for this relationship to be -1, it's probably going to shoot at these guys over here before it shoots at the bullseyes. I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Maybe just to make sure that it starts shooting right away so players will hear it, I'll have it also shoot at the actual boarding ramp. Welcome back, EZ2 Airport. And I'll also have it shoot at this guy way over here. Why not? The relationship between the gunship and the guy to like yeah, I could. I mean, it's gonna blow them up with the belly cannon anyways, so might as well. This music, I can't imagine going through the 7-hour war. Imagine how horrifying fun for a normal with like the raising the bars music. Giant pod like the scrapped Alex SFM. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. I don't really have another good way to do like a big combined ship. No? Also, hi Enderzilla. Are you paid to make this map? No, no way. This is a challenge. It's a map. Oh, maybe you mean is there a prize for the challenge? I misinterpreted that. No, there's no prize for this one. They have had prizes before. There was one challenge where I won and I got a copy of Raising the Bar, the book. Very proud of that. Like that was a very nice memento to get. But usually, yeah, usually there's no prizes for these challenges. Let's see. What? Oh, yeah, the projected texture. Let's grab that. I'm gonna have to make it a very wide and very bright projected texture coming straight from the middle of the aircraft. Yeah. Paid in the literal sense? No. No, this is just for fun. Valve is releasing the book again in 2025. Stay tuned. Yeah. I'm not terribly surprised that they didn't. I don't know, like it was a nice sentiment, but I don't know what to say. It's like I kind of knew it wasn't gonna come out. Once a few months went by with no news, I knew that there wasn't gonna be a reprint. I would kill for the Raising the Bar book. It's really nice to have. Although I will say, for reference material, a lot of people go to the uncorrected proof online instead of the actual book because there's some pages they removed. The prize is a sense of pride and accomplishment, except one time when it was stickers. I wouldn't be stressed out. There's absolutely nothing to lose. Oh, there's plenty to lose. I'm proud of this map and I want it to be the best that it can be. That's what I stand to lose. It's like I don't want to miss out on making something that I really am happy with. Because people are going to play this and I want them to enjoy it. Can I lurk here? Oh, absolutely. No need to ask. Feel free to lurk. Oh, I don't think I've actually set up the lurk command. Can you lurk? See. Oh, I didn't set up the lurk command, man. I'm sorry. But I intend for there to be lurking. Of an orange flash. I wonder if there's a different flashlight texture I should use. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, Queso. Appreciate it. This should have a very far near or Farzi, excuse me. Well, like how get away with 2048, I think. Still gonna do as far as I can get. Able shadows, quality high, brightness scale. I wonder if there's a way to make it even brighter. There's a brightness value here. What if I just crank that up like as high as I can? Because I want this to be like blindingly bright. In fact, maybe I should make it white light just so that it's bright as it can be. I forgot that there's linear, constant, and quadratic values. This should actually be constant attenuation. Usually you don't use that for lights. But in this case, we want it to not fall off at all. It's going to just completely illuminate everything. Never used a projected texture like this before. Like, I'm kind of interested. The closest thing is that in Easy2's code, the player's muzzle flash is supposed to be using projected textures. I don't remember if we still have that in or not. That was an idea we had from Left 4 Dead because Left 4 Dead has a projected texture every time the player shoots a gun. So basically, when the explosion goes off, I'll want this to be just for a second, like just when this fade starts, make this fade go faster, I think. Go down to point. That triggers projected texture. Well, enable or turn on. I always forget for the turn it off after the fade. Like a second later, I think. 1 second is a long time for a flash. I just want players to be able to see it. It's too long, actually. I think I'm gonna 5. That seems about right. I like making maps for its own sake. That said, I have won prizes for other competitions. Which competitions have you won prizes from? I know Map Labs has done a few prizes, but not very many. I don't want to see how this looks. I'm in the instance. There should be a feature to, like, if you're in an instance in a map, have it always compile the containing map instead of the instance. Hammer ++ feature request. We're going to listen to a track by Dexterity. Oh, it looks like it's private. I began using Hammer++ today, and so far I'm finding it fun and easier to use. Yeah, I like Hammer++. I had a few gripes with it as opposed to the normal Hammer, but overall with Hammer, I find it kind of cozy to use. It's very simple compared with other tools, and I just like the way it works. You know, manipulating the 3D view, placing things, doing geometry. It feels easier for me to wrap my head around compared with like 3D modeling tools. Let's before we test, let's actually add the title card. I think MapLabs always used map based. No, it started in Crossfire. I think Michael has a server you can request stuff on. I might have to do that. I changed my mind. Let's test. I just want to test that sequence first. I won a Lambda Generation Black Mesa comp, which had a pretty big prize. That's cool. Hale Worlds comp way back had an even bigger prize. What was the biggest prize that you've seen for a mapping challenge? Normally the prizes are very small, so I'm curious. Few other places with like a $100 to $300 prize pool. That's nice. It's a pretty decent prize, I think. I've never been in a challenge that had that big of a prize. Usually the prize is just like Steam gift cards or Steam games or something. Actually, the biggest prize that I've ever seen in a challenge has been the Raising the Bar book, because that's actually quite a big prize. But otherwise, it's always like very small prizes. I've never seen $100. RTSL gave away one of those gravity gun replicas. Wow, that's how expensive are those? That's got to be. I mean, I think they're not really made anymore. That's got to be priceless. Grab some guns. All things considered, this is a very short map. Loud? Yeah, sorry about that. Turn down the game volume a little bit. saw that head crab spawn in. Make a quick Trello card for the sound not playing. You ever implement the fighter jet flying past? I did, although it's very hard to spot. I could add more. That might be a good idea. Hound eyes are kind of underwhelming. One thing that I like about them is that they interact with physics props, so I feel like mappers could use that to their advantage. Love the scout. You mean this? This is the GSG-9, right? You're right. Yeah, the scout is kind of fun to use, just because it's so slow. Captain Haxfry says, "I like this Hound Eyes. Part of the thing I wish for FO2's enemy roster was for there to be more variety in the non-combine aliens." Yeah, I agree. And it's also nice because, like I said, they interact with the physics system. So that's like a unique Half-Life 2 thing. Oh, I accidentally have the flash on already. Oops. Now we get to see what the flash looks like, at least. Fire, there's only one projected texture. That's better. How come the citizens aren't reacting to me? They're supposed to have voice lines that play. What happened to those? I'd really like to use Hound Eyes at some point one day. There's a couple of Half-Life 2 things that I'd like to do, which would be really good for them. It'd be interesting to see maps that focus around them, because they are kind of basic, but I think with physics interactions, there's a lot you could add. Suggestions for the jet flying by. You could have it cause some smaller objects to fall over. Oh, that'd be cool. 8 Twitch ads. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was an ad break. How come,
Hey! Over here!
loud? Why that work? I'll have to test that with developer console. Developer 4 can load an autosave actually. That's a bug. That's a map-based bug. That's 2 map-based bugs. Okay, my arms are gone and the airliner is lit up. All right, guys, there's a lot going on, so I'm not going to be able to see all the messages in chat. But that's okay. I'm trying to focus on the map for today, since this is the last day that we have to work on it. If I don't see something, you can just, wait a few minutes and then say it again, and I'm sure that I'll see it. Super hot. Yeah. That's really keeping it positive. In a minute. So Console is getting flooded with this timer thing. Let me try one more time. That pace for me seems really buggy for AI, mostly in Easy 2. What do you mean? Made the song unlisted? I can listen to it. Let's see. If I do show triggers toggle, right? Trigger there. Blocking load of scene from scenes outlined 11. Sit ambush over here. Able to find actor named Mark Sit ambush 1. Oh, is that scene set up for a specific actor? That's not good. I might need to go and actually grab the scene files for these and change them, which I don't know if we have time to do. That's not good. I don't like that. What's your favorite map-based feature? Well, one of the new features in map-based 8 is the protagonist system, which lets you change the identity of the player on the fly independently of the weapons. You can change out their arms and leg models and like how they speak and things like that. And you can do that dynamically during the map. So I think that's probably my favorite feature now, like my favorite new feature. As far as features I use all the time, I really like prop interactable. Let's add a card and say copy all citizen scenes. Make sure to use target one. Like kind of medium priority. Do you not just play a dot wave? Well, I mean you can, but then that's gonna it's not gonna block their responses. But then the responses could like interrupt. Like the scene system is great because it basically makes sure a citizen will or an NPC will say the line that they're scripted to say, and they won't respond to anything. And then when it's done, they'll respond. And if you have multiple scenes, they'll actually queue up. So you can have a scene that plays, and then if another scene plays, it'll wait for the first scene. Scene system is really important. But yeah, no, you're right. Probably just playing the sound file is good enough for this. One didn't play either. Blocking load of scene from this. Or why? Do I have a bad scenes.image file in my workspace? I bet I do. I bet I do. Delete that. We won't. Well, let's see. If I. Can't believe Valve didn't think of the prop to be the button and not to put a button on the prop. I can kind of see it. You know, it's like they want to separate the functionality from the model, but it is a lot easier to just make the prop an entity that has the functionality. Further. Fucking load of scene. Oh, so that scenes.image was important for the hound eyes. Oops. I made a mistake there. Blocking load of scene from scenes episode 1 NPC. Yellow ones to defend us. I wonder why that's happening. Okay. Not gonna worry about it yet. That's a bug. Also, I can't believe how every time you load a save, the arms disappear. That seems like a pretty big oversight. It might just be like a late pre-cache thing. Like, I don't know. Like, is that happening to every map that uses C arms? Or is it just this map? Just noticed the CSS soldiers have unique voices. Yeah, those were something I put together for the CSS soldiers for Easy 2 to use in maps. Oh, now I have Half-Life 2 arms on the revolver. That's not good. Seems like it unloaded the protagonist when I loaded a save. What's the story or plot behind this map? So it's set during the 7-hour war, and you're in an airport, and you have to try to escape on the last flight out, but it's during the last stages of the 7-hour war, so you're kind of just like defending with these citizens. I've never used C-arms, but can you just re-enable the trigger of whatever creates them? Yeah, I could try to do that. Like, try to set... If I do fire player set protagonist. Okay, there it goes. That might work. Danger. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't see the light. I'm the last one left. Use the suitcase stack models for cover. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I might do that. Okay, that works. I think we collected a lot of bugs. The projected texture doesn't seem to be working. That game text should disappear when when the credits roll. Okay, so the player jump outside the window if the window breaks. I put a player clip in front of it, which is a sin. I should have just made a fall trigger, and maybe I'll still do that. Although it looks pretty gnarly if you actually jump through the window. That's the problem with like big drops like this is that you want to like hide stuff, but then it doesn't look right if the player actually jumps down. We have some problems. Um, I want this to disappear. This happens. Thanks for the healing, Meneth. Appreciate it. I actually remove timer. Or a way to get rid of what? I've ever actually done that before. Stable. Okay. Stable work. A good rest of stream. I go. Oh, have a good day, Meneth. Appreciate you stopping by. What if you made the jets fly past at the start? So I do already have the jets. I think I need to drop the idea of adding more jets because we just don't have a lot of time, and that goes in the low priority category. Sequence. At a second. Jet flyover. It's just not important. I'm not going to do that. That goes in low, and we have too many things to do. I gotta fix the animations. Title card is the next thing. I have the title card from the last that call. They included the first chat. Yeah, I wish it was more visible. I really should have done that a little bit differently. I just kind of gotta lock in now because we don't have much time left. Um, Cal's Mechanophobia title or decal title. Port title. Wait, guys, I think I missed the results of the poll. I believe the 7 hour layover won. I didn't actually see the results when the poll ended. My bad. Missed my two message. Where were they? Add more cover. Yeah, I agree. I think that makes sense. And the gunship should come from the direction where the enemies come from. No, I like having it come from behind because then it's hidden and it also it's close enough to the airliner that it can destroy it in time. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it makes sense. It's like I need it to be within a certain range of the airliner so it doesn't take too long to get to it. Go. I thought I just exported that. Oh, I exported it there. Okay. use some music. Yeah, let's try your track. Nice. Yeah, I'll put on Raising the Bar next. I hope they do a 7-hour war mapping challenge on a day, like Beef Bacon mentioned for one of the streams. Love to see more maps set during the 7-hour war, or even during the brief period in between. I think that would be awesome. I would love to see more maps like that. That would be a theme that I'd be really excited for. There it goes. Okay, let's grab the new title card from 19T. We're going to listen to Volume 2 of the RTBR soundtrack. Oops, I scaled that incorrectly. Scale layer. Not quite right, is it? What is this resolution? Oh, it's 1024 by 512. My bad. I'm gonna stretch it slightly. I think it'll look fine. Yeah. There we go. Really simple, but I really like it. Is that the track that you posted? Or this track? Did you grab Radhead music? Oh, I do like his music. You can do that. Sounds good. Red has mentioned. Yeah, after this, I'll put on some Radhead music. Is it okay for people to use his music in streams? Usually I like to ask people first. I don't think I can do that right now, though. Track you posted. Yeah, it sounded good. I'm gonna test again, but just for the overlay. I'm not gonna run through the whole map. Just to make sure with the Roundhouse. Yeah, I'll hold off. I think that's a good shout. This title intro crawl is a little slow. Not showing up. Uh, didn't show up. Okay. Oh, what did I do wrong? Pointing. Try that again. If I do Ent Fire Pro overlay. Or screen overlay. Interesting. Wait. Try that again. Oh. It deleted itself. Why that is. Nice intro crawl. I love how it's the same color as the text of the title card. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's gonna look really good. Originally, it was supposed to look like an old command line on a CRT, but I changed it for this map to try to look more airport. The deal with this pro overlay, like it's deleted when the map starts. Because it can't find the material? Where is it? It is. Look up here. It's weird. Oh, wait, is it hidden? Oh, it is hidden. Wait. Ah, I see. It's hidden there. It was in a Viz group that was hidden. Embarrassing. Hidden. Try that one more time. What do the custom zombie textures look like? They're wearing like a gray outfit, like maybe like a suit. Are they zombie models in civilian clothing? Yeah, I think that's the idea. There's no time for us to do like a variety of models. Ideally, that's what I would want, like different kinds of citizens as different kinds of zombies. Kill. That's cool. Okay, that looks really good. 19T did a great job. I don't like that flickering at the end, though. Not sure what that was about. Okay. So, we have a title card. Title card is done. Let's get that zombie skin in. Only office workers got zombified. Yeah, I guess. How do I want to do this? I want, I think I have the zombies from Easy 2. Why don't I just recompile? No, I should probably get the original zombie sources. Okay. For zombie. Part of the problem with getting assets from Half-Life 2 now is that there's so many different VPKs. Like, should I be looking in the map-based VPK? Should I be looking in the original VPK? Like, is it episode 2? Let me start with map-based and see if map-based has any changes. Or models. The zombies, okay. Models, okay. Zombies. I think these are the most up-to-date sources. Okay. We're going to use a tool called Crowbar to decompile the models, and then we're going to recompile them with a new texture. I really vibe with this task card system. It beats my system of writing notes haphazardly and then just trying to remember the rest of what I need. I've done it manually with sticky notes, but my handwriting is really bad, and I have a tendency to misplace things or misorganize things. So I like using Trello. It's basically it's Kanban, and it's inspired by Scrum, like the agile workflow. I know agile has in recent years become kind of a bad word because people talk about companies using agile badly, but I found that working as a software developer, when agile is done really well, it really works. It works well with the way that I think about problems and break tasks down. So I'm kind of I've subconsciously followed that pattern ever since I got into that habit of sort of like organizing things. Normally, I would have these cards would be user stories. So it would be like a description of a feature for some software, and then you could break it down into sub tasks for each user story. But what name did you pick? It's called the 7-hour layover. I thought the flickering was intentional. We'll just say that it was intentional, and then that will be good. Not a bug, it's a feature. You heard of Milanote? It's some organizational website thing. Oh, I haven't tried it before. I've used Notion. I don't really like Notion so much. It feels like too open-ended in a way for me. But I've been trying to get to use Notion, and sometimes I like Notion, especially if the templates are already set up ahead of time. So this is Crowbar. So we're gonna decompile our. We don't really need to decompile the zombie models. Like I could just use the skin editor. In fact, that's what I'll do. No Crowbar for today, but I'm gonna use. Well, no, actually, I will. I'm not sure if you rename the model if that has any side effects. I'm gonna decompile and recompile. We'll do it the right way. Okay. We're gonna go in model source, airport zombie. Start with zombie model. We're gonna call this airport or classic. And the path or the materials um do I already have a folder for materials models? One for TT21? I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm gonna say classic and airport or zombie classic. I'll also make it fall back on the regular zombie in case I don't copy all the materials. All right. We have the leg model. Okay. Then the torso. Imagine Left 4 Dead zombie models but head crabified. I thought about that, especially because we did that with the hazmat model. We used the hazmat zombies for Mechanophobia, and Blix made a zombie version of that hazmat model. So it is possible. It's just that the skeletons for the Left 4 Dead infected are a little bit different from the Half-Life 2 skeletons. So the armatures don't really line up, and there's like changes we'd have to make to the models to make that work. But I would be very interested in that. Beef Bacon says, sometimes I write things in Notepad, other times I use an editor text and Hammer, and I see notes I write for myself floating around the level. I'm not well organized. It's hard. Sometimes I think if I had a good note-taking system down, like if I had developed that skill younger, it's been too long, and I have never been good at taking notes. If I had like a solid note-taking system when I was like in my early 20s, I would be like so much more capable now of like learning things and doing things and keeping track of things. But it's hard for me to like figure out what organizational style I want to use for a given thing. I don't have like one style of taking notes that I can just use for everything. Now we just need the materials. I'll compile first. Compile the models. There's an error. Good. Match number of IK rules. I've had this before, and I never know why it does that. Maybe I'm using the wrong version of the decompiler or something. Like I'm confused. I know we can just delete some IK rules to fix it, but I don't know if that's actually block S. Does anybody know anything about this error? I've done it before. Like they do have the same number of IK rules. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Labris. Thanks for stopping in. We're working on my Map Lab submission. It's going to be a bonus map, and it's due tomorrow. Right now, I'm working on changing the texture on the zombies, so I have to recompile a model, and I ran into a little error with the model compiler. This is all really old software, of course, Source Engine. So, I know I've dealt with this exact error before, but I've never dealt with it live on a stream, so now I feel nervous. I think that worked. I think all I needed to do was click to find bones. We'll go with that for now. Okay, the program crashed. Absolutely ancient software. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to recompile all the zombie models with the new textures. Oh, I see. It's... Take your time with it. You're doing fine. Thanks, Labras. What have you been up to today? Do you have plans for Valentine's Day? Cheese Dreamer says I could do a couple more skins if you need to. Um, yeah, we could set up skin groups. I'm really short on time, so I think I'm gonna say no. Just because we have a lot of other stuff to do on the map, and I don't know if we have time to mess with that. It's very tempting because it would be cool if there were different skin groups for the model, but I think this will be good. Oh, I still have the same error. Yeah. I think I just remove one of these animations, then it goes away. Bothering me that I don't remember what causes this or what the problem is. Just woke up, gonna watch a movie with the community, then have a little Valentine's thing after. Oh, that sounds like fun. Like a good Valentine's Day. Buy this. Ah, right. Can see why not, since you'd have to set up them spawning with different skins each time. It doesn't take a lot of time, but I'm just very conscious of time right now because we don't have very much time. In fact, I might give up on recompiling and see if I can just use skin editor to text edit the model. I'm going to be looking off stream for a second. Do you enjoy finding and fixing these issues? Well, that's a good question. Um, Not really. This is why I do say I feel like I struggle a little bit with mapping streams because I love mapping. I'm very passionate about it, and I want to share that with people. But it is very hard to do when I'm live on stream and I know people are watching me. I think that's a cause of some anxiety. Overall, I will say I enjoy solving problems. It's just I like to solve problems more like what we were talking about earlier of like level design problems. Like how do we make sure that the player when they're in this combat area looks at the airplane when it gets destroyed. That was something that we talked about, and Beef Bacon, who's a really great mapper who's in chat right now, suggested using a light to flash when the airplane blows up. So even if you're looking away from the explosion, you'll still see the light cast from that explosion. That was a really cool idea, and that's a good solution to a problem. It's less fun when there's problems like, oh, the compiler program threw an error from reading an animation file and won't say any more information about why. That kind of error is a little bit frustrating. But overall, I like solving problems. Bogey says, I'm going to eat pizza with my Barney Calhoun body pillow. Bogey, do you have a Barney Calhoun body pillow? That's awesome. I approve. And by the way, Labras, I liked your concert last night. I tuned in for part of that. That was nice. You did a good job. There we go. I'm going to be looking off stream just for a second while I fix this. So this is a different utility called the skin editor. Crowbar, the tool I was using earlier, was like a general purpose decompile, recompile tool, like a wrapper for Studio MDL, which is Valve's compiler program. That's like a CLI. And Crowbar was having some errors. I'm going to use the skin editor because it just lets me open the model file directly and replace the skins. More of a hacky kind of thing, but it's basically just hex editing, right? I was curious because I had a game dev friend who did. Are there NPCs or something that can react to the plane, but just before the explosion? That's a really good question. So that was something that we added on the last stream. Is the NPCs are supposed to all say a line when the aircraft explodes, but the problem is we had a similar bug with those lines where the game doesn't want to load them, and I still haven't been able to figure that one out. Just running into a lot of problems today. But yeah, that's a really good idea. Happy with it. So much work went into it. Yeah, I could tell that you put a lot of effort into it. I wasn't expecting like you had the whole stage, you had the guitar prop, you had like everything all sort of choreographed. Really nice. I told you why not to use skin editor, but you missed my message. Did I miss your message or did you miss my attention? It's for consider. But actually, why shouldn't I use the skin editor? Let me check. Can't you just copy the zombie model files, rename them, and use the skin editor? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I thought there was a problem with that. Like sometimes it doesn't, some kind of bug that can happen, but maybe I'm misremembering. Really hard for me to keep it straight sometimes. Add some music. This is the soundtrack from Raising the Bar Redux. This is volume 3 of Raising the Bar Redux's soundtrack. I enjoy these streams since it's pretty fun being able to be involved in the mapping process by suggesting suggestions and feedback. Yeah, that's one thing that I've really enjoyed about these mapping streams, especially for this challenge. Why not use it over Crowbar? Oh, you're right. Yeah, I thought there was a reason why, but I'm like drawing a blank why I thought that. Sometimes there's these little tiny things and it's like I forget the specifics. We're going to try it this way. Skin editor can very occasionally corrupt model files, but if that happens, just bring in the original model and try again. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Beef Bacon. And hopefully that doesn't happen. So now that we have our hex edited model, I can pull in the new texture and we can try it out. So first things first, let me just grab all the zombies we have and change them to the new model. They won't have the new texture yet because we haven't added in texture. Select all NPC zombie. And I think we want to make it an NPC zombie custom, right? Do we not need it to be that? I don't remember. We do want it to be custom. I want to set the legs model to airport. Port legs. And the model itself, that to airport version. I made them all legs. There's also the torso model. We have one zombie that starts out as a torso that I have to set the model on. Model field, am I? Oh, I need to make it a custom. I haven't used zombie custom in map base very often. I think it's because in Easy 2 we actually have most of the features of custom zombies on the regular zombies, so I just never really bothered to use them there. Okay. Now that all of our zombies have their models replaced, let's go in and add the texture. I believe I called it materials, models. There's like airport zombie classic. If I remember correctly. That's a sip. Thanks for the sip, Labrys. Appreciate it. I need the healing. Airport zombie classic. Need to get the materials. Here's the original zombie materials. The material file defines the paths for all the different texture maps. So I'm gonna update this. Report, classic, classic. Uses Fong, that's okay. One thing I want to be conscious of in my mapping streams that I'm trying to work on is that I feel like I mumble to myself too much when I'm mapping. Like I don't always have a very clear stream of consciousness. I'm not sure if anything that I'm saying really makes sense while I'm streaming. I try to be more articulate when I'm playing games, and I don't know if that comes through when I'm mapping. There we go. We're going to export that as a TGA. Then we're going to take the map that Cheese Dreamer provided. Thank you, Cheese Dreamer. Enjoy the ramblings? That's good. That makes me feel a little bit better. Cheese Dreamer gave me this texture sheet. I'm copying it out of Discord, so there might be compression on it, which is kind of embarrassing, but you know, we're going with it. This looks good. Hey, Cheese Dreamer, where did you get the texture for this like clasp here? Did that come from another like maybe that came from Breen's suit or something? Curious. Pants too. What's the song playing right now? This song is... This one is called Despair Protocol. And the previous one was called A Fleeting Threat. These are all from the Raising the Bar Redux soundtrack, Volume 3. Cheese Dreamer, you did a really good job with this texture, by the way. I like it a lot. Now let's see the magic. Where's the magic? Okay, it didn't work. It's interesting to compare this workflow with like modern engines, because it's just so different being in Source Engine. I kind of like it. Oh, there it goes. Okay, finally Hammer++ updated. So these are the new zombies that Cheese Dreamer made. I really like them. I think they turned out great. I think they fit the environment. I think they'll add a lot to the map. But like modern editors, usually you have like one program that kind of is your whole environment and covers all aspects of the game, and you edit the game in that. Whereas like Source, it's like all these small programs to do specific things. And I think I kind of like that better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. Nice suit cuffs on the zombies. Yeah, I noticed that right away. Like I really like how that looks. It's very different. I might actually need to play Raising the Bar Redux. I would highly recommend it. Raising the Bar Redux is a great mod. Let me make sure Cheese Dreamer is in the credits before we go any further. Credits. Right here. Custom zombie texture by Cheese Dreamer. You want Cheese Dreamer to be spelled out like that, or do you want the underscores? Do you want like the numbers in it? Have you ever programmed before? Yeah, mostly I'm a programmer. I'm a software engineer. What program should I get or use for Source games? Yeah, so Glua, I think that's if you want to make add-ons for Gary's mod, right? That's not a bad way to go, because Gary's mod has a lot of features for making your custom scripts and things. Mostly, I think you want to learn the source code for Half-Life 2, or what's called the Source SDK 2013. That's written in C++. You can find that on Valve's GitHub, and that's like the full source code for the game. Doesn't include the engine because that's proprietary, but a lot of things, like if you're making a mod that's using map base, you can use Squirrel as a scripting language, or in Gary's mod, you can use Lua to script things. But I think looking at the actual compiled source code itself is the best way to learn how the game works. Probably with an underscore. You want it to be Cheese Dreamer 247 or just Cheese Dreamer 7. I'm really excited that we have custom zombies now. That's going to look really good. Realize these legs need the new pants. Important. Without numbers. Okay, let me get rid of those numbers. Okay. So going back to my Trello board. Got that done. My next task is to split the audio up into shorter stems. I'm kind of dreading that because that's a big time sink and we don't have a lot of time, but I think it is important. So let's get started. So in our last stream, there was this process I went through where I split up the soundtrack into these stems that I could use with my dynamic music script. And I'm not really an audio person, so I'm not sure if I'm doing this the best way or the right way. I'm just kind of, doing the most basic thing that I can. This is the one we wanted to split, right? So this one is 48 seconds long. That's way too long. That one's over almost 2 minutes. Okay. What's that emoji, Labras? Oh, it's headbanging. Yeah, the soundtrack, the episode 2 soundtrack is so good. Pause my music. Yeah, so the task here is basically we want to split this track up into smaller segments that I can script into stems. And then in my dynamic music script, at the end of any stem, it can transition to the next part of the track. but it's hard because the track is very long and I'm not sure where to make the cuts. Audacity jump scare, yeah. I think one thing I could probably do is I could probably cut out the C part entirely because the realistically the music won't get there in the amount of time that you have. That makes sense. Let me just do that right away. That'll save us some time. Um, hunting party granular loop 1 1. I'm just going to cut that out. More section or section C. Um, yeah, this one is out. Like most of it. So we get these two sections, right? That will loop back to here. But realistically, the gunship interrupts this pretty early on, so I don't know if we'll even get that far in the music. Entropy 02's SDK is able to be used in fan projects? Absolutely. Yes. You might want to try to credit individual artists if you're using assets from Entropy 02, because a lot of different people contributed, but the source code is available for any modders to use. And again, I'd recommend attribution, but I don't think that's strictly necessary. You can look at the license. That's the source engine license that Valve provided, the source SDK. And it's the same as the EZ2 license. Let's just see where can we split this up. Where are the natural like split? I think we want this to be. This right now is like 30 seconds. Seconds. 20 seconds. Wait, no, it says it's 39 seconds. Okay. 39 seconds. We want to split it up probably into at least into quarters, probably more. We should go for like 4 seconds each. That 8. 8 seconds. That could be one stem, right? Another problem is since this isn't made to be dynamic music, it all blends together. Like there's a lot of reverb. You're right, here is a better point to cut it. Yeah, this would be a good point. Half, okay. Good point to cut it. This will be A1 1, and this will be maybe A2 1. Seven mid A1. Call it A2 1. I want to split this at least one more time. Holy moly, is it too loud? Is that what it is? Alright, is that better? I'll just leave this be. I hate to ask this, but if I wanted to ask help from the EZ2 team, would I be able to ask for help? There's a Discord server for Entropy 02 where you can ask mapping and modding questions in a channel called Mapping and Modding. And you should join the Discord server for EZ2. It's not the Discord server linked in my bio. That's my 1UpD Discord server. You can find the link to the EZ2 Discord server on the Steam community on the forums. There should be a pinned thread. And that We'll definitely be able to help you there. This track. Now it's like 8 seconds. This one, right? One. Gotta split this up into parts. I don't even know how to split that. Like, it's all kind of feels like one unit. Right there. The A2 one. I would say let's get some music, but we're going to be listening to the clips that I'm working on, so I'll get music. One thing I don't like about working on audio. As much as I feel like this could be done better, I'm pretty happy with how the dynamic music script itself actually works. And I don't see very many maps using dynamic music. So two, I believe. I just messed it all up. Did I mess that up? Add the scripting for that. In the dynamic music script itself, I just got to add them to. I have to add the sound scripts. A11 and then one. I go now. It's time for me to sleep. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I hope you had hope you enjoyed watching the stream. Hope you have a good Valentine's Day. Good luck with your modding. And hopefully I'll see you on the Discord in case you have any questions. I need to actually add the sound scripts. Oh, well, that's okay. No pressure. Okay. Now we have that section split up. Figure out the B. One is really long. Around the middle, we've got to split it. I don't know. It's hard. Hey guys, hear me out. Running out of time here. What if we just loop these three? That won't sound good. I don't think that'll sound good. Works, it works. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But going from this to this stem, I don't think that really works. But cutting this into more stems would make more sense. Right there. This will be B11. Have maybe do a new texture for advisor pod? No. I we gotta be mindful of the time and just like looking at how much time is left. There's no time for that, but it's a good idea. Actually, really, I think that would help with that. You could make it look more like the Strider, and uh that'd make it look more like the kind of thing they would use in the 7 Hour War, and it would differentiate it from the advisors. That's a good idea. I just when I'm thinking about like, okay, how do I want to use my time for the remaining like hour and a half that we have pretty much maybe not even hour, yeah, hour and a half. Yeah, no. Okay. Maybe B1 too. At this stage in map labs, I always feel like, man, I wish there was more time. You know, that's when you start having the really cool little detail ideas of like, oh, what if we made a new texture on the advisor pod to make it a separate unique vehicle? Well, you could try changing the color. Does that work on dynamic props in I think it could be a static prop. I don't know if that's the render color. Yeah, we could try it. I kind of just want to focus on the things that I have to get done. The only reason why splitting this song up more is important is so that it can transition to the different parts of the song during the holdout. Right now, it's not doing correctly in the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother with this. All this. Someone made a Half-Life 2 mod set in Rapture, like a Rapture-like environment. Yeah, it'd be cool if someone could bring back Kraken base, Half-Life 2 concepts. Something that looks like the Citadel. Yeah, I wanted to have a super portal on the background of the map, but I didn't have time to do that. I think focusing on the aircraft is more important, although it is kind of sad. It would be nice. Also, should make sure that goes in script. That's where we were at. If I remember right, this is not your first 7 Hour War Map Labs entry. No, my first 7 Hour War map was called The Last Commute. It was in 2017 for I don't remember what challenge it was. It was a Run Think Shoot Live challenge, and then I made the Good Shepherd for Map Labs Crossfire. Um, Got a lot more of this track to go. Hey, Gildan, welcome. We're mapping. We're map labbing. We're working on my 7-hour war map. Remember the one with the crossfire? I really like the idea of young Father Grigori. Yeah, I'm glad that you liked it. I'm very proud of that map. That was one of the weirdest maps that I've done, but I really enjoyed working on it. I worked on it with some friends. It was a big collaboration, and I feel kind of funny now having played Raising the Bar of Salvation recently, replayed it, and talking to Amy and realizing that for Raising the Bar, she came up with a backstory for Grigori where he was not a priest until the shelling of Ravenholm happened. And now that I think about that, I think that's a way better backstory for Grigori than the one that I came up with. I was saying that he had always been a priest in training, like since the 7-Hour War. And now I'm like, oh, if he was actually a car mechanic and he only became a priest when he was just like isolated by himself reading scriptures for who knows how long, surrounded by zombies, that makes way more sense as a backstory than what I came up with. That's a note of regret that I have. Glad, any good progress? Yeah, I think we're drawing to a close, but I'm starting to get very stressed out because there's not much time left. Because I have so many plans this weekend, there's just so many things going on. It's difficult to have enough time before the bonus period ends. This in half. There's really no good place to cut that. I'm just gonna leave that all as one. All that B31. I don't know if this dynamic music script is going to work in the game because basically it needs like an interrupt point where when the gunship appears, it can at the end of a mid section transition to the next like little finger loop. I don't, it's going to work. I don't know. We will find out. It would be kind of sad if all of that effort was for nothing. That dynamic music system you made, yeah, I'm using it in this map, but the problem we're having is cutting the stems down to a small enough size where it's able to actually transition from one stem to the next. The code. I think I'm gonna have to call that good. We spent quite a bit of time on it, and now we're gonna find out if that actually worked. Move that into my testing section. Now, there's a lot of bugs in the medium category or the high category. I know the soldiers are using the wrong animation, and I'm not sure if I want to try to recompile the soldier model live. I was having issues with Crowbar earlier, and that would be the same problem. I mean, not necessarily because it's a different asset, and because it imports the animation, so it doesn't compile them. I don't know. I'm nervous about doing that one, but we'll see. Adding captions, I think I'm gonna have to move that down because I just don't know if we have time to like write out each of the lines that the soldiers have. Um, Opening TV broadcast, I'm gonna add a won't do category. We don't have time for that. I did think having like an alarm or something would be a good idea, but I don't know. You guys can suggest if there's a good way to have like an alarm or something that will wake up the protagonist. Replace the soldier with the M4 to another weapon. It does the same thing with the MP5. Maybe the SMG1 would be okay, but I don't know if I want to use that gun because I associate it with Half-Life 2, even though they had MP7s this time period. I remember trying to add it for that evening city map in you know what mod. City map in you know what mod? Oh, and is that in like your mod, Combine Base Assault? Not sure. A lot of these just that important. Soundscapes, could retexture the plane. I like this better. Want to fix that. Fix the citizen scenes. Flyover. I think I'm going to go ahead and mark a bunch of these as won't do. Okay, this looks good. Oh, that's cool. Were you using the script that I wrote for that, or were you using something else? Let's do a full test, guys, now that we have that down. Oh, there's something I forgot. I didn't put it on my Trello board, but I want to fix it real quick because it's important, but it's something I'm missing. Music for the intro. Having an airport announcement system say that they're having a holdout. Yeah, but I don't have time. Exactly. Oh, you did use the script. That's awesome. I'm glad that it was of some use. Um, Pro music. What music should I use for the intro here? I kind of wanted to stick to just the tracks that I already had. Abandoned in Place, Hunting Party, and Eon Trap. But if I play Eon Trap during the text crawl and then I play it again when you open the door, it kind of loses impact. Maybe Last Light is actually one that I want. Look at the soundtrack. Might need to go to the Combine Overwiki for the track. It's actually the episode 2 soundtrack that I'm looking for. AppLab's intro music. Ooh, what's that? I actually kind of like that idea. Post tracks. I'm interested. What's the MapLab's intro music? Like that Come on, Overwiki turned 20 years old today. That's super cool. Oh, he had to ditch the dynamic music. I'm sorry to hear that. This These are from these are styled after Half-Life Alex. Finders Lab intro music. Oh, the lab intro music. Sorry, I thought you said the Map Labs intro music. I like that actually. Either Lab Practicum or not Last Legs. What's the one that's called like there's this very like haunting track in episode 2. Maybe it's not Dark Interval. I think Extinction Event Horizon. That's the one. Not what I was thinking of, but that works just as well, actually. I kind of like that. Remember where track that I'm thinking of is Crawl Yard? No, doesn't really matter. This one works. Song 20. Not song 20. Okay. Thinking of like episodes. Song. That's what I'm looking for. Need like a stinger sound for when the title card plays. This is a short track. Kind of do that. The old zombie stinger. I could do that actually. I like this one. Finer's Lab song. The track Low from Easy One is an edited reverse version of Extinction Event Horizon. I didn't know that. How are you looking time wise? Well, for the stream, we have maybe I could squeeze an hour out of the stream if I was running behind. And then once I get back home, like tomorrow, I have stuff going on too. So we pretty much have to submit. We have about 1 hour. That's actually a good shout. Do that. Okay. Let's do one big test, right? Actually, I forgot to fix a couple things. Um these guys need to make sure they start disabled. They do. Sometimes they just seem to enable randomly. That's a bug. Okay, and then the projected texture, I need to make sure that it starts off. Okay. Fixes that. Do a run through. After this, we'll have to figure out time wise what can I do in an hour? Like, which of these things do you think I can get done? I think I can put off all of the submission related stuff for tomorrow, but I won't have much time tomorrow, so I got to really make sure that anything left for me to do, I do now. I really wanted to add a surrender speech at the end to hear the Combine surrender. I don't think there's any time for that. If I had a script, I could send that to a friend who could voice act. He might be able to get it done on time. Didn't you also get really close to the Doomsday previous comp? Yeah. I think I was a lot more on top of things with Mechanophobia though. I kind of prepared for it, and while I did have like a lot of last minute changes, I think it was a lot more controlled than this. This is kind of crazy. It's also because it's Valentine's Day and because there's other plans going on. Do one more test and I think this track fits really well. The title crawl is a little slow. I think that's okay. I don't want to speed it up this time because I want to make sure the music works. Bit of irony in how hectic the Machinpropolis has been during a 7-hour war themed. Yeah, exactly. What if they do a 7-hour war challenge, but they only give you 7 hours to do the map? That would be really funny. So cool. Over. Awful. April Fool's mapping challenge. That would be kind of fun, actually. Maybe do like an actual 7-hour war mapping challenge, but then like the April Fool's version. Oh, it crashed. I think it's something to do with the particle systems when it crashes like that. Not good. We get to test our autosaves. My arms are gone. Maybe, okay, I will try. Go over here. Auto. Load game. The player. That protagonist. Protagonist. We called him Sebastian. I'll spoof that right now by saying fire here, protagonist. He handed CSS view models. Yeah, Blixabon helped me with that. Someone called Inaki made them, and Blix was able to provide me the models. F-18 flyover is like right here. There it is. Okay. You guys saw it. It's real. I'm gonna die. The new zombie model. Wish CSS could have those just like CSGO. Yeah, but it's usable in map-based add-ons now. Map-based mods. Oh, that torso didn't get the new skin. Oh well. Thought I fixed that. Wasn't there supposed to be like, yeah, okay, the legs. Would have been neat if it had sound. If what had sound? In the teleport? Flyover. It does have sound, but I think it's very quiet. It could be improved. Killing that zombie should not start the countdown. The bug. Bathroom stalls should be taller. Yeah, you're probably right. E2 stealth bombers? No, they're F-18s. Oh, I see. They're quiet. There is a sound, you just couldn't hear it. It's playing Hunting Party. Flyover sound should have the flag ticked where the sound is played everywhere. That doesn't always work with sounds that use sound scripts. But yeah, it should probably play everywhere. Uh-oh. Imagine if you were able to use those fan-made concept art combine synths. Yeah, I do think it would be cool to have some unique combine synths. The mortar synths and crab synths would be really good for this. Some of the more abstract ones would go really well, because yeah, technically the Combine wouldn't be using hunters here, right? Because hunters are supposed to be very specialized units for tracking people down that were used in episode 2. The hunters are the closest stand-in I have for combine synths during this time period. Danger. Danger. I don't know if that light really worked. The dynamic music is working though. I could barely hear it. Volume a little bit. Bulky elites and the skinny ones with spears are my favorite. Oh, the synths? Yeah. They look really weird. Okay, so there's the map. A little, it's, you know, it's workable. It's okay. Could be better. I'm happy with parts of this. I'm unhappy with other parts of this. Okay, let's talk about where we're at. That test worked pretty well. The fire is working. Dynamic enemy spawns, those are working. Citizens reacting to the plane destruction, no, because the we have a card for that. Yeah, the scenes aren't working. That's like kind of credit Blix. We added a name. The plane destruction, I think that works. Title card. We have zombies. We have the dynamic music is working in the ending. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff done. In our to-do list, we have making sure that the citizens react to the plane destruction. We have the soldiers having an animation bug. Soldiers should have a different skin to make them look like they're not like bad guys. Like they look kind of like Black Ops, and that's not intended. Having like the windows explode when the aircraft blows up. Fixing the sound. Trying to fix the citizen scenes. I think these are actually all pretty doable in an hour. What do you guys think is the most important thing? I have only an hour to work on this, and then it has to be submitted in whatever state it's in. Hi, Dova Quartz, by the way. I feel like teleporting the player out of the map and removing the HUD and weapons would be good. That is a good practice for endings. I think I'm going to leave this one be, just because I don't have a lot of time left. But what do you guys think out of these things is the most important? To work on soldiers, to work on the citizens? I think, added cover. Yeah, you can add more cover, but like, that's not even on the list. I don't think you're wrong about that. Yeah, I think this one is what I'm going to start with because it's simple to do. I'll add that to the list. Cover to fight. For visual storytelling, I don't know if there's much I can do for that right now. Like signs and stuff. We're kind of too late to do that. I think I'm gonna take a quick break, stretch, get a different drink, get some water, and then we'll work on these last items, see how much we can get done, and then wrap up at 7 p.m. Does that sound good? I'll be right back in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Back. Sorry about the delay. And Labras, if you're still here, I hope you have a good night. Hope you enjoy your Valentine's Day. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Matt, were you saying say stay tuned again? I got that reference. Hi Dova. Okay, so let's see why the sound doesn't play when the head crashes. Something very simple that we can fix. Boom donuts. Bonds. This is the sound that plays. TT12, the Good Shepherd teleport sound. I bet it isn't properly pre-cached. I bet that's the issue. Pre-cache just isn't working. Because yeah, the sound is there. Maybe I just need to pre-cache these. Pre-cache this. That's the issue. Do you guys think the other entries in Tune are going to be like soundtrack do you guys want to listen to now? We have a little bit of time left. Probably not Radiation. I'll go back to the Salvation OST. You're winning this? I mean, it's a bonus map, so by definition, I'm not winning it, right? I'm disqualified. That gotta try to fix the scenes for the citizens. And I think I know how I want to do that. Stanley Parable soundtrack? The Stanley Parable soundtrack even sound like? You're winning it in my heart. I appreciate that, Dan Scart. So I think we can find these scenes. Oh, these are the Half-Life 2 scenes. Episode 1, excuse me. Scenes did we even use that aren't playing? Take a peek. There's all of the Gordon Dead scenes. These should work. I don't know why they don't. But let's... Those are Half-Life 2 scenes. Focus on these ones first. Oh, this is... Why wouldn't this work? This should definitely work. Here. But I'll never forgive you for being one place above me in the last comp. Was I really? I can't remember the scores. And that one, I wasn't a bonus. I'm surprised that I was one above you. Like, I feel like your map had a lot more polish than mine. Felt more finished to me. So if we look at, like, this file, for example. Open it in code. Target 1 says this line. Why wouldn't that work? I'm actually very confused. Target 1 should be Survivor Unarmed 1. This guy. Why don't these scenes work? You were placed 6th and I was 5th? Oh man, that's close. That was a great challenge though. I really, really enjoyed that one. What am I missing in these scenes? What's wrong with them? I'm very... Something just doesn't feel right to me. What? What? Okay. Or what I just witnessed. Unmade horrors beyond our comprehension. If I do, a over here scene start. Oh wait, it worked. Okay, it did work. Am I just not paying enough attention to it? Okay, that one worked. Okay. Type of scene you'd see in an ARG where he just keeps repeating the same line. I don't know, something feels fishy.
I'm gonna be sick.
If I play like this scene, or even better, like this. Okay, so they do say the lines. Action scenes, say like 11 start. So those scenes are working. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. Huh. Maybe I just need to pay more attention. I'm gonna go ahead and put that into testing. What up? I'm back. Oh, we're just wrapping up for today. Trying to finish a few more issues. So what if I had all the windows blow up when the aircraft explodes? I think the way I'm going to do that is by taking this explosion that already exists and same target name, but we're just going to put it here and make sure it doesn't do any damage. It only like pushes props. That one should do damage actually. Damage. This one, I don't know, it should break the windows, right? Like I actually do want it to do damage. Yeah, I just want it to be like radius override 28. Does like 10 damage, I think. Has no fireball, no smoke, no deep works. Particles, no D-lights. Fireball smoke. It kind of makes sense. This could also hurt NPCs near the window, which was a request that I had. see if that causes any problems. Props in front of the glass should get pushed over, but it probably won't do a lot of damage. Add some cover. Oh, you said you wanted some suitcases to cover. That temporary props that I don't need. What if they did a zombie outbreak themed map comp where it's set during the starting week of an outbreak? That'd be fun. It's usually the most chaotic during those first days. Yeah, it could be like 28 days later, Left 4 Dead. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing, so fun. Quite fit. Where would this? You kind of want it in the middle of the space, right? So it's like cover blocks the light. Trickier than I thought it would be. Probably want it like kind of in the middle of the space in the cover. Kind of the idea. Smaller stacks, there might be. I've used them if there are. I am so late. It's okay. We're just gonna wrap up in about 25 minutes here. Block some line of sight, which could be a good thing actually. See if there's a smaller stack we can use on the other side. Art. File is actually pretty fixed size, but what I can do is I can have some physics props of go now. I hope you managed to polish and submit the map in time. Yeah, thanks. It's down to the wire, but I think we're pretty much at a point where we have to just full send it. You know, there's not much time left, and we're just gonna do what we can. I'll have NPCs ignore the suitcase. I can even make them low away. NPCs will just run right through these. Problem. They should get like thrown around a lot, which I think. I also want to put some of these like around by the windows. Windows explode, that will throw props. Really lightweight props like these. I can even put like a stack of them over here. And somebody wanted environmental storytelling. What I can do is I can put some draped, some covered bodies over here. A few of the survivors didn't make it, kind of idea. Here's the luggage cart model. out the front of the window. That looks good. Grab one of those draped bodies from the beginning of the map and put some of those around. A little bit morbid. There's more of them laid out over here. Not everybody made it. I need to put some explosive barrels around. I just realized because one of the bonus objectives is using explosions. I don't really do that a lot. The butane canisters would make more sense. I don't know, what would they have at an airport that would be explosive? It's a terrible question. Don't ask that question in the TSA line. I'll put these near military stuff so it makes sense that by the military randomly in an airport for no reason. I don't think there's a lot of those jokes, but I suppose it makes sense with the map being themed after an airport, but I'm hoping to avoid that kind of association. Gap is a little bit too narrow for NPCs to get through. That's kind of annoying. If only there were explosive munition crates that weren't painted comically red. I mean, they need to be red so that you can see them, although this map is already red themed, so maybe that doesn't help as much. We have about 15 minutes left, so we did that. Um, we wanted to have another flyover. A couple things I want to do. I want to actually use an instructor hint to tell players to come over here because I don't know if the scenes are doing it for that. To know what pointing at, like soldiers or like one of the base. Oh, should basically be pointing at this door. Target. Um, about well, out in the terminal. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, not sure how what the best way to say that is. Play when you enter this. You know that hologram globe in Half-Life 1? I had an idea for an airport setting in the Half-Life universe. In the main terminal, there's a bigger version of the holo globe. That sounds really cool. And I think that fits Half-Life well. The question I always have about that is like how like are we meant to believe that that technology only exists at Black Mesa, or is that like something that people will have out in the world? Because both answers to that question are really interesting in their own way. Um, else flyover. We wanted to do another F-18 flyover. Want to be more like over the terminal area. You know what I think I want to do is just like put it on a timer. Yeah, I can just like have it go over the airstrip and put it on a timer. I don't know if I want to do that because then these only appear and disappear when the to keep it simple, I'm just gonna have it fly over once. Probably to the holdout, or maybe even when you walk in before you get to the holdout, because that'd be a good time to see it. I like to think that some of the cities look like some of those Y2K renders in the Half-Life universe. That would fit perfectly. What if I just copy this, hit this trigger, then that'll fly over. Maybe I'll even trigger. They had aperture selling stuff already. That's true. Did part that overstart. Hopefully you'll notice it in the corner of your peripheral vision. If you don't, it's too bad. We don't have much time. Plays everywhere. Any chance of return to Scar Zero this year? I've been thinking about it. I've really put that aside while we work on map labs, but I have an idea for it, and so there might be news about that later. We have about 10 minutes left in stream. Do I want to try to make a new asset for the soldiers? I think the way that would look is probably just returning them to their Counter-Strike source skin rather than using this like generic skin that I made. I honestly don't think it's worth it. I think we should do one more test, wrap up the stream. I think we're going to go ahead and say nope. We're gonna give it a test, and then we'll see what we've made, and then we'll wrap up, and I'll submit it tomorrow. I believe the holograms are available to the public, but not to a crazy extent. I think that makes sense. I would agree with that. Uncompiling yet. Welcome back, Three Codex. We're going to do one final test, and then we're going to wrap up the stream for tonight. Already looking for who to raid next. Sure yet. One thing I kind of forgot to do is build cube maps. All right, this is probably going to be kind of disorienting on stream. Pros, but don't worry, it does that sometimes when cube maps are being built. The HEV suit could have been available to the public, but it's nothing common. I don't know, the HEV suit is kind of specific to Black Mesa, right? I like to think that there were versions that were like and other companies use them too. Ohms is definitely a public company. Oh, for sure. Yeah. 19T even made an Ohm poster for Mechanophobia. I wish I would have used that in this map now that I think about it. Oh well. I think it was Cheese Dreamer who was telling me that I should add regular bludgeoning sounds so that not every sound the guitar makes is that, but I never did. I could skip getting those weapons to see how different it is. Well, those booths are kind of shiny. Ow. Get some ammo, guys. I'm gonna play as a player who doesn't explore. Made the Houndai model in the AI. That's from Map Labs. That's part of the Map Labs template. I'm not sure who exactly did. Ever need a logo for Ohm's Power Inc. I uploaded one in the Discord. Oh, cool. There's that one, which I could use, and 19T made a poster for Ohm as well. With Mechanophobia. See that guy in the mirror. Oh, what is with the reflections in that glass? Good. There's the F-18s. Okay. Terminal. Didn't work with the, I have an idea. I think I set it to, World Space Center when it should have been, Origin. You guys look kind of evil with reflections on. Oh. I also don't like how shiny. I don't like how shiny a lot of this stuff is. Way too shiny. I need to add more cube maps. Yeah, why is all this so reflective? I put the cube maps that made it like that. I think it's because of these big sprites. Doesn't look right, yeah. These cube maps don't look right at all. A give weapon cube map. So where? I think it's these sprites that make it all so shiny. Guys do look cool. yeah, the third person model for the guitar doesn't show up. Not much I can do about it though. So tired that I tried to fast forward a live stream. Yeah, I've done that too. Or the super synths with jetpacks and auto guns. Maybe in the full mod release version. These cube maps don't look right. I do wonder, wait, so if I... Yeah, I think the cube maps in the instances didn't correctly work. I think that's what the problem is. Now we get to watch the explosion. Okay, that worked. Blew out the windows too. Cube map issue, I might need to submit that as a bug fix, honestly. I don't know if I can fix it in time. I think this is as good as we get. I think we're out of time. Plane changed colors, you noticed. Yeah, that's a problem with the plane. Organizations like FEMA and the CDC could use HEV suits. I like to think that CEDA from Left 4 Dead exists in the Half-Life universe. Or just don't build cube maps. Oh, that's so bad. It looks so wrong, but you're right. That might be the way to go. I feel like we're cutting this short. Like, I have so much left to do, and we still have a day left, but alas, I do have to wrap up for now. We made a lot of progress, and hopefully some of these things I can fix in the bug fixing period. If they're bug fixing stuff. That Ohms Power Inc. poster public? I'd love to take a look at it. You'd have to ask 19T. I am completely okay with it being used, but I didn't make it, so it's not really for me to say. But yeah, thank you so much for your suggestions and feedback. Sorry if things got a little tense earlier. We're just running a little bit short on time, as it always goes, you know. But I would say that we got a lot done. That's fixed. I don't know. It's kind of fixed. Those exploding works. We added cover, flyover. We cleared the board. There's still some things that I want to fix, and I still kind of want to do that surrender speech if there was time. Maybe, I don't know, there's no way for me to get a script for it, but if I could get a script to my friend and he could voice act, I could maybe drop that in really fast, but I don't know. But yeah, the finished map will be in Toon 3 Encore. I'm going to submit it tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. So looking forward to Toon 3 and all the other entries. I will be streaming Toon 3 when it comes out. I also have a backlog of games and mods to stream that I'm really excited to play. The next thing that I want to stream is a Steam game called White Knuckle. I've been watching some friends play it, and it looks like a lot of fun, and I just really want to try it myself. But I have to play In Sound Mind. That's on my list. That's been on my list for a long time, and I haven't forgotten. I want to play Half-Life Diffusion. There's some other mods and other games as well. So a lot in the future. But I will post hopefully some updates when I submit the challenge so you guys can see my progress. Again, thank you so much for sticking around. Thanks for the feedback and the suggestions. And also, thank you, Cheese Dreamer, for the skin for the zombies, because that helps a lot. Really appreciate it. For now, I better wrap up. Let's find someone to raid. The two people I could raid. Do we want to raid into Escape from Tarkov or Battlefield 6? Or a just chatting stream? This one has a roll ad. We're gonna raid Nitro Anime Gamer, because their partner used to be a moderator on my friend's stream with me, and I want to talk to them about that. By the way, speaking of which, I'll be posting it in my Discord, but tomorrow, no, it's not tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, Sunday. Keep forgetting what day it is. On Sunday, an old friend called Stashy is going to be having a graduation stream. Graduation stream. That means that she's retiring her character in her stream. So be sure to check that out. Anybody who remembers her from way back, I used to be a moderator for the channel. Lots of good clips. She played easy too, but definitely check that out. Otherwise, let's raid into Nitro Anime Gamer. Give them our best. They're playing Escape from Tarkov. Do up a raid. Yeah. Have a good Valentine's Day, everyone. See you next time. Bye for now.